In this video, I'm going to show you how to make miniature fruits using polymer clay, and the first one's going to be a banana with peel and a bunch of bananas. So the actual banana is just white polymer clay mixed with translucent polymer clay, and I made a little banana, and to make the peel I used yellow clay, and then I put a thin sheet of the banana color on the other side and rolled them together. And then I cut little peels and slowly added them to the actual banana. To make the bunch of bananas, I used the same peel color, that's a yellow polymer clay, and I made little bananas, and I made the tips thin and the middle very thick. And then I slowly added each of the bananas together and pinched the tips together like the actual bunches are. Then I trimmed the tip and I added green chalk to the top and bottom so it looks kind of like it's unripened. Then I used a black Sharpie marker to add little details like real bananas have. To make the watermelon, I used red translucent clay, and I made indents where I was going to put the seeds, and then I made holes and cut the watermelon cane open so I could put in a dark brown color, which are the seeds, and then I wrapped that in a translucent white color, and then I wrapped that in a bright green color. And now I'm just pressing it all together so I can make it longer and thinner. And I'm pulling and stretching and pressing. You don't want to roll it because the seeds will just get mixed up and all the colors will just get mixed up together. And once I've stretched it enough, I cut it to check it, and this is what it looks like. And I use sandpaper to add texture to the watermelon, and you can even cut little slices and then use sandpaper to texture them so they look a little more realistic. And you can make these into earrings or charms. Now I'm going to make apples and oranges, and the oranges are probably the easiest thing to make. They're just balls of orange clay that I use sandpaper to texture. Then I added a little piece of green clay. To make the apple cane, I used translucent white clay wrapped in a bright green color. That's kind of like wasabi from Primo, that color. And I closed up the end of the cane to make like a half apple slice. And once I closed it up, I cut off the end, and then you have kind of like what a half apple would look like. Then I added brown little seeds to the center, and I used the same brown to make a stem for the apple. To make a whole apple, I use the same technique by closing up the ends, and you're going to do the same thing on both sides of the apple this time so it'll be fully enclosed. And I added a little bit of brown chalk to give the apple a little bit of color. And to add the indents, I used a ball tool, and now I'm just going to add the stem at the top of the apple. And this is what it looks like once it's finished. And I also made a pear, and you use the same technique except the top of it is just a little bit thinner, and I use the same brown to make the stem at the top, so it's really similar and easy. The last kind of fruit that I made were grapes, and I started with a translucent purple color that I mixed myself. I then made a bunch of little grapes like this and added them to the form and covered it up completely on all sides, and I added a stem and some charcoal chalk, and the chalk just helps it to look a little bit dusty and more realistic. And once I did that, I baked them, and this is what all the fruit looks like once it's finished. So have fun, make your own, and don't forget to share your pictures with me on Facebook.